Hello, world. How are you doing? Thank you for those of you who are online waiting for us. We just had a quick technical difficulty, but we are here, you all. We are here. We got some hearts, some love, some people who are watching us. And so I do know that social media takes maybe a minute or two to be able to share it out so that people can know that we are live. And so we have an amazing just a message and that we are going to be sharing today about the past 19 years of our lives. We are going to be very short because it's just a part of our whole day. I believe about this time 19 years ago, I keep want to say 17.
Yeah, 19 years.
That you were proposing.
Absolutely.
So send me the photo of
my knees to kneel down.
You was getting on your knees to kneel down. So for those who are watching us, and I'm going to be doing some sharing myself, if you can let us know what city, what state you're watching us from, how do you know us, and if you are, still here with us, and not if you're still here with us, if you are a part of our organization, such as the pageant, Carolyn International University, and or the Mega Life Experience. And so we do know that there are people that are across the board in all three of those major things that we're running with this year. And so let me turn my phone down because I might get a call. Let me go and do not disturb. Let me see if I see myself. And again, just letting people know that we are live. I think I have this.
Yeah, there we go.
Didn't I say to turn it down? I know we're live. You didn't have to tell me we're live. I know we're live. I got the system running.
I was checking the sound.
All right. So you want to do your start thing, or you're just showing that? Okay. So you're doing that. Why don't you just greet the people while I do some sharing outs?
All right. Well, greetings to you all. And I am so excited about today that I am celebrating that day 19 years ago when I proposed to this amazing woman right here, this angel. And she said yes.
I did. I said yes.
She could have said no. She had a choice. But she said yes. And I'm excited about it. And so today we're celebrating this 19 years when I first popped the big question and she said yes. And there is so much that have happened in between these 19 years from the proposal to where we are sitting today.
Right.
And I'm just a grateful husband sitting beside an amazingly beautiful wife and woman.
Right.
And we're just here tonight just to give you a little sneak peek or a peek into what our day has been like, and maybe just a little bit of wisdom and just life skill that we have developed over the years, and just share the goodness and that we have experienced over all these years. And so that's what it's all about today. We won't be long. We won't be too long.
No, we won't be long.
Because we still have
the night is young. The night is young, and so we won't be long before you. So again, if you can let others know that we are on live. I'm still I see us on our profile, but I'm trying to find us on our pages and share that out.
The page. It's all good. I got it.
No, you don't, because you don't even know the difference between a page and a group.
I know.
You think your profile is your page.
Page.
That's not the page.
That's not yours. That's mine.
You don't have no page. Oh my God. All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome again. Dr. Carolyn Anderson and Dr. Cavell is here with you, joining you live. We're going to be sharing momentarily here about just our last few years of life. And it's been a journey. It's been quite a journey. And we are excited to just talk about it tonight. For those that are married, thinking about marriage, divorced, widowed, looking to get remarried, this is an opportunity for you to just hear just a snippet of our life story and see where you find yourself in there, or where the answers are to some of the questions that you may have. We will be taking questions live as well. So I still can't find it, but I'm just going to go forward because I know I'm supposed to notify some people. I don't see the, here we go. Okay, it's on this page. So let me share it from Kyle. Right post. All right. So you can talk, Kevin.
Yeah.
Just tell them what it was like leading up to it while I get.
Yeah. So here's the deal. So
because you have to let them know where we had the proposal, right?
Yes.
And
yes.
how this all
Absolutely.
unfolded.
I'll go through my story here.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So.
Okay.
So good. All right. So I met this amazing woman, and let me give you a Reader's Digest of a little bit of the backdrop here. So we attended the same high school, and
I don't think we have to go through all that.
I just want to give a bit of a backdrop.
Okay.
All right. And so our connection goes back all the way to high school. So I oftentimes said that it seems like we've been missing each other along the way because we kept running into each other over the years, building up to the point of where I asked her to be my lady and eventually proposed and asked her to be my wife.
Right.
So, but it is so cool because leading up to the proposal, which took place in the beautiful, beautiful island of Jamaica. Yeah. Yeah, man. Beautiful day.
I don't know if I like you in my lives. I don't. I don't know if I like him when being on my lives. I'm sitting over here be like, you boring the people to death.
Oh,
you're speaking so story. Slowly.
Yeah, but if I speak too fast, then
the accent is gonna come out.
So I gotta take my time.
Okay, so how about you do medium pace?
All right, medium pace.
Okay, so let's go. I don't think I'm gonna have you on my lives anymore because you're messing up my page and my profile. Okay, go ahead, honey.
Hey, give me some love. Let me.
I don't know who's gonna give you some love.
Yeah. Let me know if my pace is good. Let me know if you're tuned in. Let me know if you're listening. Talk to me out there. Who are we? Joan
you got this. Okay, I don't know what that is.
So you got this, right?
Hey. I am from North Carolina. You are my friend and family. Okay.
Yeah. So, so we had been, talking for some time. And so I decided that, this is the woman. When we talk about the one, this is the lady. And oftentimes people say, well, how do you know? Well, it's just something innate in you, man. I just got to know that this is the one. It's time to make the move. It's time to pop the question. It's time to, this is the person that you just want to settle down with. And I don't know that someone can teach you that. You can get all the counseling in life. You can get all the guidance, whatever. But there's something innate in you that you just know what you're looking for. It fits like a glove.
Right.
And it's like magic. It's just like that spark. There's something there.
Right.
And so I had the spark. And so we'd been going on for some time. And so I decided that, what? This is the woman that I want to spend the rest of my life with.
Right.
And so we got my uncle, in Jamaica. He got engaged and he had his wedding planned and he was going to get married on the 14th of July. And so we were all invited as a family to his wedding. And I extended that invitation to my beautiful, beautiful bride-to-be. And in the process, though, behind the scenes, I was actually shopping for rings and having all this planned to pop the big question while we were there. And so this is the backdrop of the story that led up to 7/14 being the day that I asked my beautiful bride to marry me. So we were so I was going to all these different places, checking out rings, and I remember we did go look at some rings while we were before we even were talking about marriage or anything like that, right?
Marriage or anything like that. I don't like him being on my life. Oh my God,
but I think we had gone and looked at rings at a couple of times, but we're just talking about family. We're just, it was just sightseeing.
We went and looked at rings.
We were looking, but it was nothing, no commitment.
So in April, he asked me to be his wife.
She got the memory in the timeline.
Hi, Tony. Yes, I do remember Tony.
I did, you know what I'm saying?
So I have Tony on here. He's watching me from YouTube. Tony is my nail guy. So
okay.
I don't know if it's open. Tony, let me know if you guys are back open. He's from Star Nails. Of course I remember you, Tony. And I was with you guys right when it was closing. or I should say when COVID hit, because, I was there every 2 weeks. I'm a regular customer. And so, yes, I do know you, Tony. I remember you was watching me from YouTube, probably from a Dr. Carolyn show, because I think I pushed it out there. So anyway, so we got, you asked me to be your lady in April, and then we started looking at rings. And then by July 14th, on this day, why we are coming to you live is that you started to have plans to go to Jamaica because your uncle was getting married.
That's right.
So we went to his uncle's wedding, and all along he had planned that he was going to share and asked me to be his wife at the wedding, because he was in the wedding as a groomsman. And so when it was his turn to share at closer towards the end of the reception, he got down on his knees and popped the question. But I wasn't even paying attention to him at that time.
She was negotiating.
I was negotiating about jewelry. One of his cousins that were there. Okay, so Tony said his mom does not work there anymore. Okay. Well, I was one of his cousins sold the jewelry, and we were negotiating, because I was going to meet up with him the next day. In the market and buy some jewelry. That's right. And so your sister said to me, "Girl, do you hear what's going on?" And all I do was saw Kevin up there proposing. My mother and father was there as well. They all knew. And it's not uncommon for our extended families to join us. It's not uncommon at all for extended family members to join us to be a part of our wedding, because to be a part of weddings, because that's how it is in Jamaica. I've always wanted to get married in Jamaica on the beach, or somewhere on the beach, and this came close. So we at least he proposed to me on the beach, but I didn't get married on the beach. I got married in the snow. But one day, coming pretty soon, I will be getting remarried on the beach. So we had our 10-year anniversary celebration. And now we're into our 9th year of the 20th year, 19th.
Right.
So,
for sure.
So next year it's 20.
20 years.
So you start planning, because I'm gonna get remarried. All right. So one of the things I wanted to why I wanted to go live today, I just wanted to just be raw, authentic, and just share a little bit about the language of marriage and our new book that is coming out called The Life Cycle of Marriage. And so every marriage goes through a life cycle, which is 5 years at a time. And so life itself goes through this 5-year cycle. In fact, I'm in my 5th year cycle of our skin changing, and I actually noticed the difference on my skin. And so that's the time frame that we're in. And so we've been married now for 19 years. So I'll call it 20. So it's been metamorphosized at least 4 times. And so I celebrate those of you who are in your honeymoon phase, which is the first 5 years. And then kind of a still mini honeymoon up to the 10 years. But then things will change if you are not present and cognizant and aware, because no one taught us this. We had to learn from experience. We had to learn from trial and error, that there is who I was when we first got married 19 years ago is not remotely close to who I am now. Neither are you, right? Neither is anyone that was that was there.
Go through changes. Some of them are obvious, and others they just tend to just seep on.
Yes. So I was Carolyn Spence then. You were always Mr. Anderson, and you asked me to be your wife. Now, why we're celebrating so much, I know a lot of people don't celebrate their proposal day or even remember. They mostly celebrate the ceremony or the day of the actual ceremonial wedding. But in the non-Western culture, a lot, the day of the proposal, so the day you asked me to be your wife, you didn't say, will you engage me? It's an engagement, which means a togetherness. We are now engaged together. And so you asked me to be your wife, and I said yes. So that on this day 19 years ago, when he asked me to be his wife, that's when our marriage started. Now, our ceremony was 5 months later, December 22nd. That was our ceremony. But our marriage itself was when I said yes, because we just started to prepare for the outward witness of what we will show other people. Correct?
That's right.
And so it was an amazing time. That's one of your favorite words.
Yes,
or fantastic.
Amazing.
Yes.
Yeah, those are all my favorite words.
And from our loins, we have had 3 children.
Yeah.
That we've been graced and blessed with, and we're very ecstatic about that. And so we've created new legacies, new generations, and so we celebrated today. We started off in the morning by you having like a new stream of income that was added to you. So you're filling up your streams, baby.
Yeah, you gotta get them each one.
You gotta get them each stream. Good news. So we had good news starting off the day. We woke up in good spirits. It's always a good day because we make the day mega. Make every day good again. I don't know if I told my pageant people that I was live.
I believe I pushed it.
You did? You pushed it out to there? Okay. And so we make every day good again. So we chose to make every day good again. But we came to some crossroads and some happy roads. And there comes a point, every relationship, every marriage for sure, but every relationship, even platonic relationships, whether that is mother-daughter, mother-son, father-son, best friends, church sisters, every relationship comes to a point where it is tested. And only the strong survive. Only the strong survive, and some of them just does not make it through the test. Even for the organizations that I'm in, the pageants that I run, the university that we run, and other things, there comes time where there will be challenges and tests, and only again the strong will survive. So we've had some rough days. We've had more amazing days though. Yep, so our first 10 years of our lives were just blissful. We didn't even recognize that the trauma, we experienced trauma. So we got married December 22nd, 2001. And by the following year, we had experienced trauma by losing twin boys. We were 5 months pregnant and lost twin boys. It wasn't until years later that we realized that how affected we were. This is like adults who had some traumatic experience as children, but your brain does not manage process it or deal with it. And we didn't even know that early entrance of trauma, plus something that just happened briefly right after we got engaged, would plague us unbeknownst to us. So I don't know who's out there right now that you may be looking to get married, or you are married, and there is just something that is there, and you don't know what it is. It could well be that there is something traumatic, whether it was a health issue, financial issue, personal issue that may have occurred earlier on in the marriage, and or before each of us were married, that plagued and carried through the marriage. And when we got matured enough, or we teach and we share, because we have a marriage retreat, which will be both for singles, engaged, and married couples, March of next year, 2021. And we do this every year. We didn't do it this year. No, we did it last year. Yeah, we did it last year. Back to the Garden Marriage Retreat, it's called. But this year we're extending this upcoming year to singles, because for those who are interested in understanding marriage, it's good to have the teaching before. I wish I did, don't you?
Yep.
I wish I did.
Absolutely.
I wish I had and knew some of the things. But it's okay. We went through it so that we can come through and help others to come through.
Absolutely.
Because marriage in and of itself is like a child. It's an entity. It's a thing. It has to be nourished. It has to be fostered. It has to be trained up, raised up. And buddy, it took you a while to get that, didn't it?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, sure did. And they said us in the natural, women tend to mature and have a sense of their lives before us men. Not in all cases, but in a lot of cases, that's it. We take a longer time maybe to want to settle down to kind of get a sense of what we want to do with our lives. Right. Some figure it out early enough where they have a good track where they're going on. Right. But yeah, that happened, and for me, took me some time.
And that's a man thing.
Yeah,
Men
so.
take a much longer time to get it.
Mm-hmm.
And that could be because, again, you guys don't incubate because you don't have a womb.
Mm-hmm.
And so you just men just kind of be riding the tide.
Mm-hmm.
I think you get things in a different way.
Yeah.
Like we had to understand that too.
Yeah.
Men and women,
Yeah.
we definitely, I know people say we think differently, but no, I'm talking about we really
very
think drastic difference.
Mm-hmm.
We think differently, and him and I had two totally different personalities, but we had like vision, like values. So two totally different personalities. Kevin is more reserved, laid back kind of guy. But it's kind of weird because I'm reserved, laid back at home. Like I just want to just chill. And sometimes he just want to play. And then other times, so the roles switch, but we're different. I can, I'm a connector. So I know a lot of people. I have a lot of energy. And Kevin sometimes you can be guarded. Because you're not really sure who the person is.
Yeah. And that's twofold. That's a part of my just how my growing up, I believe my upbringing,
Our cousin is on here, Talithia.
Okay. And so some of my guardedness just came out of events that happened early in my life, childhood.
It did. Yeah.
And I think that kind of carry over into life.
Right.
But for the most part, I'm just easygoing.
Right.
Once I understand the person and trust the person,
right?
And I
what does Tony call himself? Dumb.
Just like him. It's just I have a great time,
right? Since we don't have much more time on here, so just speeding it all up. So 14 years ago today on this day, July 14th. Excuse me, 19 years ago.
19 years ago.
You proposed to me. I said yes, and so part of my write up today was, what are you actually saying yes to? So Kevin and I, we've been married for 19 years, but we've known each other for 30 years.
Yes.
So we knew each other on and off. What I mean by that is I went to the military. We knew each other. We went on field trips together in high school, college together, first semester together at the same university. He came and hang out in my room a couple times. We had, I don't know if we went out, maybe grab something on campus, maybe.
Just catching up. I can tell people that's like, wow, we knew each other back then, and when we got reconnected here, and we just had just like a friendship, just knowing who each other is from the same high school and the same general area, in Jamaica, and we just. And it's interesting.
We clicked.
Yeah, it's interesting because we won't see each other for days or sometimes months and other times years. But once we see each other again, it's just like it was yesterday. We never missed a beat,
Right. It was but you always wanted me.
Always.
Okay. Thanks for sharing.
Always.
He did.
Since high school in Jamaica.
High school in Jamaica.
Wouldn't give me a time of
I
day.
wouldn't because I was
God.
too cute. I was too cute, Talithia.
Long hair, walking,
long hair.
Straight ahead.
I was bougie, up class, high class.
To holler,
yes,
putting on my
I'm
best
still
face,
the same. Nothing has changed.
My best uniform, nice and.
We have Antoinette, our student, on here that's with us. We have Clarice, who is our newest national ambassador.
Yes. Hello, Clarice.
Talithia, the international comedian, and our cousin and friend. I had Tony on here. I had Amber Anderson. Now you don't know Amber, but Amber and I met in Texas.
Okay.
So she's actually, I believe she's still in Texas, or she could be overseas. But Amber is really cool. We hung out the whole time at Rennie's conference.
Okay. Yes.
Pastor Rennie. So that's Amber, and Joan is also on here, our cousin. Hey, Joan, how you doing? Good to see you on. So Joan has, we've been with us for a minute. In fact, this Friday, I am going to be doing the Dr. Carolyn show and talking about the first day, which is 7/17.
Right.
17, when we have the Dr. Carolyn show, and Joan was one of our first guests. So when I said yes to Cavell, and when you say yes to someone that's proposed to you, you don't know what you're actually saying yes to. We just knew without the shadow of a doubt that we were supposed to be together.
Right.
We just knew that we were supposed to be together. It wasn't a question. It was just, it was just, we were supposed to be. We were meant to be together. And so when we said yes, we didn't know what we're saying yes to. We were only 24, 25 years old.
Yeah.
We're pretty young. And neither one of us had any children. And we're both educated. We had our degrees.
Had great careers.
Because I had to. My dad said to me, get an education.
My mom,
and his mom, get an education.
It wasn't even a thought. It wasn't. I never even.
Actually, it's a Jamaican thing.
Yeah.
It's a cultural thing. We're highly educated beings. We are huge on educational advancement, and so it wasn't a thing. It was just a given. Right. It was ingrained. Right. But I do hear his voice saying, "Get an education first before marriage." So we said yes, and then we knew we wanted children right away. And this morning, Kivel and I were talking, and we said, if there's anything that we could advise those whom are getting married now, and it's not like your second marriage or a third or fourth, but you're in that early stages of the, about to have children kind of marriage. I'd say wait a couple of years, get to know each other.
At least a minimum a year.
At least a minimum a year.
Really,
In fact, the Bible talks about that.
Yep, it's a
biblical principle to that the husband is supposed to be off work and tend to his wife and get to know her. Because
for a year.
Who we were. So just like we had Christina, we had Chaz, we have AJ, we have a marriage. And if you don't tend to it, if you don't nourish it, if you don't raise it up, it too will run away. Like how some children run away or become disobedient on its own or not properly tend and care to. And even though we did a lot, so we did a lot of things together. We traveled a lot. We went to a lot of conferences together, things that we both love doing. Right.
And we did a lot at home as well.
Yeah. We played a lot of games together and stuff.
It was a lot of activities. Maybe not so much of conversation. Right? So we didn't, but now we do. Now Kevin and I, this is why I can play with him like this and stuff. But before you say that point, I think what you were alluding to about the marriage and the entity of itself and having to grow up and sometimes run away. And I believe that's the term that a lot of couples will use to describe it, is that we just kind of grew apart.
We hear that a lot, that they grew apart.
And that's what you're
or fell out of love. And it wasn't, and we found out it's not love, it's that the language that we both speak to each other to show that we are in love with each other has changed. And what made me happy, like you kept giving me flowers and cards and chocolates and stuff, and you deck the things out, little teddy bear and stuff, and I no longer wanted I don't know, that was cool. I no longer wanted those things. It didn't speak anything to me. I wanted more. I would rather him just book an appointment with me and say, let's talk, honey. That's funny. But I didn't want those. And Kevin was just on cloud 9. He was so happy.
I sure was.
And I was suffering in silence.
I was on cloud 11 looking down at 10.
You were looking down on 1. You were 11 looking down at me, the 1, because I was suffering in silence. I just felt so disconnected from him for a period of time, and he's so connected and so engaged. He's like, what's the problem? And a lot of men are just like that. You're like, what's the problem? I don't know what's wrong with honey today, and you guys like to say women are complicated, except can you say that about me?
No, you're not complicated.
You're the complicated one.
Yeah, I can be complex.
You can. Oh, that's a better word. I like that. You can be complex. Yeah. It's the engineering mind. Yeah. You want to figure things out and stuff.
Technical.
You're very technical. Driven, You're very technical. Yeah. 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 So anyway, we had these traumatic moments. For every marriage has its thing. Every marriage has its test, and we had to figure out also that we are individuals. And so what does Keva like, so that he wasn't liking something because I like it. I don't know if Joan is still on here, but her and I had spoken about how we would, our husbands are somewhat similar in their reserved personality. And we would say, what do you want, hubby? And they would be like, whatever you want, that I'm happy with whatever you want. And we're just trying to get an opinion of what you guys want, but you just like whatever we want.
And it's interesting because that's the truth, because we're not, we're not so we can be cool with just a bed and a roof over our head, and,
Right.
and we good. You know what I'm saying? So what it is when a lady is asking that question as far as what we want, I believe it's an asking for leadership and vision,
Right.
rather than
that's really good.
Rather than just he wanted to hear what we want, because we want many things. Okay, I want a rider. I want the biggest Craftsman tool.
Right.
Then I want the finest things men wise. Or it's going to be what I want for you.
Right.
So that question is a loaded question, and oftentimes I think the easiest way to answer it, and the best way for men, the safe way, I should say, that we often respond to that is whatever you want, honey.
Right.
Because then we don't have to go deeper than that.
Right. Yeah. And we're gonna Carolyn and I are very vocal and outspoken and authentic as it comes to our marriage, because our marriage is called, and our family as a whole, to actually transform other lives and to create and to build this new foundation that doesn't exist. So I lived for most of the 10 years through the church that we were attending with their expectation. So Keval was a pastor, a minister, a youth pastor, then ordained elder. And I kept trying to find where I fit in. They said you're an elder's wife, but there's no manual. And I'm a person who likes instructions. So if you give me instructions, I'll follow them. I'll follow them to the T, because I'm an orderly person, but there were none. And so I kept looking at other married couples and saying, maybe this is how I should be.
Gleaning and patterning.
And my gleaning became my reality, because I looked at others to pattern myself. And Keval had no direction to tell me how I'm supposed to be. It's not like you were married to in the church or something before.
Right.
But that was my first 10 years. And we, don't get me wrong, we loved it. We had an amazing time. I was a youth choir director, loved it. But when we got home, I just didn't know what to say. Our drive home sometimes was just like silent.
Or we're talking about everything else but us.
No, I can't get you to shut up.
Yeah.
No, it's just like,
that's a good
oh my
thing,
God.
because there was a time where
you
wanted me to
speak,
or I needed to.
Yeah. We drove 14 hours from Chicago to Florida. Yes. And I think Keval said 4 words to me. Are you hungry? You want to stop? We only got 10 more hours to go. And so this time we drove to Florida, you had a lot to say every hour.
A lot to talk
because he was like, it's a redemption year. So we know that that's a redemption year in our school.
Yeah.
So he's redeeming the time.
Right.
So
I with like what you just shared about going home, how our lives were so surrounded with
Rachel. Go ahead.
With the ministry and other community and other things we were doing on the external. I think it's interesting, because it was not a lack of having a vision, is that I was so sold out to serving the vision externally, for ministry and other things that was going on, that I never took the time to tend to the vision for my home and for my family, and so that became a big disconnect, because then everything was built around the vision that I was supporting, rather than the vision that I should have been leading.
Correct. That's good.
Yeah.
That's really good. We have a lot of amazing nuggets that we're going to be sharing.
Yeah.
That's really good, what you just said. And so we just wanted to, again, just jump on here, because today is our proposal date. When you said yes, that's when it starts. And it did start for us, didn't it? Yes, opens the door.
Yep.
So yes is I don't know, is Genesis on here? She probably isn't. Probably in her session. So Genesis is helping me with the Mega Life experience.
Yes, that's gonna be just
that is coming up.
It's gonna be
where you're gonna be speaking as well. You're gonna speak about health and how fatherlessness affected your marriage, your everything. And there is so many people right now, even adults, who are fatherless, never had that father figure in their lives. And there's some that had the father figure, but the person just wasn't present. And what we mean by that, present in the moment. You're in the house, but not present. You can be in a person's space, but not present cognitively and emotionally present. So we're excited about what you can share.
I am. I'm looking forward to the Mega Life experience this year. It's Mega Life. Life is where you can go
and we're
check
just
out
doing it for 2 days.
Yes, it's just 2 days.
Because it's virtual. Normally it is 4 days, but we're doing it for 2 days, which is the 20th of August. So we're on a 40-day countdown to the Mega Life, because by 2021, we would and have transformed over 2,020 lives. It's going to be amazing. The Mega Life 2021, because we're starting the countdown from this year's Mega Life. And so we're propelling. It's going to be something that the world will know and hear about. It won't be a pandemic, but it will be a movement. And so we do movement. It is already a movement. It's already a movement.
Yeah, the Mega Nation. I'm going to be a part of that Mega Nation.
Absolutely. And Mega means make every day good again. Because life is going to hit you. Life happens every day. But it is how you respond to what life throws at you and how you create your own world every day. And so we're teaching about the 5 pillars of health, the 7 streams of income, the money mindset, how to live the Mega Life, how to disconnect and remap and reprogram your brain, I've learned some new neurological things that I'll be sharing.
Yes. And you want to know that, because I think I know it's going to answer a lot of questions for many, relationally, health-wise, but I say relationship-wise, health-wise, and also even attached to your finances. And I believe that
everything
what you have to share is going to attach to everything. And
and
I'm going to talk. I want to talk.
The mind is where everything takes place.
This is the epicenter for life.
And we're going to talk about when you actually change your mindset. It was set in one thing, and you had to shift it to become. So man, husbands, single men, brothers. If you have friends that's males, you want them to become a part of this Mega Life movement. And to join us on the 20th of August. So take off work if you work, or if you can't join us live, every registered guest will get the opportunity to be able to get the replay. And here is the cool thing about it. I know Patrick Snow is also presenting, who lost his father as well. But what people do not let you know, everything is in the mind. So as a neuropathic physician that I am, I go deep here, and this is where the surgery starts. And so we're going to take life in order for it to truly be shifted and for it truly to be changed. It actually takes an entire year. It takes that 365 turn circle in order for life to truly be maximized and megafied. And I believe, and it's always been a dream of mine, especially in the last 3 or 4 years, that if we can take individuals who become teams. So you become teams together, you are, burning and releasing the fat together, gaining the muscle, going through your training and working together collaboratively all across the country. And every week I will be showing different states and teams on the Dr. Carolyn show, because the show is going to kick back and restart on Sundays. We're going to Sundays at 7, where we're going to just, share and talk about the different teams. We're going to bring them on virtually, and they show us what they're doing. We're going to lose over 2,000 pounds by the time this Mega Life and the next Mega Life. We also have the Mega Life Club, which is where you're going to be able to get coaching and access to therapeutic changes, access to life skills, and that's $44 per month. You can also find that at the megalife.life. We are going to we're going to be ramping up the club where you get access to us, to training, to teaching. If you're thinking about entrepreneurship, become a part of the club. Once it hit the 2020 membership, we're closing it, because that's whom we're just rolling with 2,000 this year. All right. Because 2020, it dealt some people wrong. And we're going to show you how we actually catapult in 2020. That it has been this quarantine season, the best season so far of our lives. And we're going to teach you how are we able to, in the pandemic, in the storm, to rise and to come out. In fact, our theme is we rise, right?
We rise.
So we'll talk more about marriage. We'll talk about the mindsets. We'll talk about how we overcame. We're going to be real and raw and talk. And by then we would have had the life cycle of a marriage book by then. So, all right, we're going to get ready to go. So anything else to share?
Well, I just want to say, this has been, if we had time, which we'll do in the retreats and the special sessions we have.
Right.
We're just giving you highlights and nuggets here, but in the sessions when we really get a chance to go deep into our lives and really be transparent and just making ourselves open to you, being vulnerable and show you just insight into us, which which I believe can help to make a difference.
Yes, and we're finally, especially you, is in the position where you can talk about it, because you can laugh about it and you can talk about it and not be offended about it.
Right.
Because we can.
Being uptight.
Yes, because you can be married and be talking about some of the things you go through. But you're still going through. Right. So we've come through.
And that's one of the things that I do share in some of these sessions is how to overcome that.
And you're going to take this fatherlessness thing across the globe.
Absolutely.
It's a pandemic.
Absolutely. Yes.
Fatherlessness, homes without fathers is a pandemic. So we have 3 pandemics right now actively going on. It is the uprising of racism and just overcoming that, and the Black uprising. It is the COVID-19 and then fatherlessness. And then
that's the most damaging one, because it doesn't impact just businesses and our way of life and the economy. It impacts generations.
Because it's a root.
Right. Exactly.
It's a root. And so that's a root. Like COVID is not a root. COVID-19 is not a root. The uprising of racism is a root. It goes back to the foundation of the United States of America. It was, we know how it was built, and so on the backs of
rooted in what's happening.
It's rooted, yes. And so it's fatherlessness.
Yes.
And so what Kevin and I are really good at, if I would say one of our niche, is addressing roots. Because a lot of people are addressing branches or leaves and trying to fix those, and it's not going to work. A branch can just fall off. But you got to go back to the root to find the source. And that's an area I specialize in. That's also an area you specialize in. And so this is going to be amazing. You're going to be working with the men. I'm working with the ladies, and then we cross pollinate where I work with the men, you work with the ladies, and we have clinical therapists who are a part of our Mega Life Club that will be doing coaching and training. We have nutritionists. We have those in the credit repair avenue. We have financial neuropathic physicians, destiny coaches that are going to be leading us as you become a part of the Mega Life Club and as you register for Mega Life 2.0 and Mega Life 2.1. And so as soon as we finish the Mega Life 2.0, we're going to put 2.1 on there. We are going to also have like a Shark Tank type of thing where we are offering entrepreneurs in 2021 an opportunity to propose and their new plan, their business idea. So there's a segment of that. And of course, the Olympics, and we're calling it the 4x4. So it is 4x4. The relay is the last relay. It's the last race of the track meet. It's normally the last race, even of Olympics, right? In track and field era. So in track and field is the last race, and literally what it is, one lap around the field. Typically they
4 legs, 1 lap.
Well, 2 legs, meaning that I don't know about him. He running like this.
4.
I was going to explain what the 4x4 is.
Go ahead.
So it's 4 times around, but one person only will run 1 time around. And what I was going to say is, the person that starts the race and finish the race, you want them to be the fastest. So the anchor, you want that person to be the fastest, because just in case leg number 2 and 3 slowed it down.
Make up some
ground. So guess what position I used to be in? I was the anchor. What was you?
I was a starter.
You were the starter. So you either start or you finish as the strongest.
I always gave it between 10 and 15 yards.
And we ran the same race. So we, you also did the hurdles.
Yep, sure
so
did.
how this Mega Life is setting up, it is about your wellness and the leadership. So taking leadership of your own life. No one is going to take any, not even interest, or I should say, be more invested in your life. Even though we're married, he should not be more invested in my life more than I am for my own life.
Yeah.
So we are going to teach you how to be about yourself while you're being about your family, being about your life, being about your business, because you can find that equilibrium. It exists. Yesterday, I was speaking with a potential student in our class, and she was sharing with me how she's finding a hard time just balancing. And I'm like, that's easy for us, because time mapping is a part of the coaching that we do. And it's at Integrity. I think it's a standalone.
Integrity CCE.
Yeah, it's a standalone. I think it's a standalone course. Yeah, I think it's on there. It's called Time Map. Yeah. Learning how to find
really
that.
Good. It's really
it is
good.
good.
Really
it changed my life.
It's simple, it's practical, and anyone. I mean, a high school, middle school,
time is money.
A 10-year-old son could use that mapping.
Time is
technique.
money, and money is what? Time.
Yeah.
And so yes, we're excited about that. So thank you so much for listening to us, for joining us. Hope something we said made a change and a difference in your life. I know every time we open our mouths to share, and like I said, I'm gonna have to evaluate if you can be on my lives, because maybe I'll let you join in, not start with me.
Yeah.
You know,
gotta do your thing. I
gotta do my thing.
I like when you open,
Yeah, and then you're sharing and you're doing it.
Yes,
so we go back to that. But this was special because
this
it was our wedding.
Day. Yeah, this is a special
day. Our
day.
marriage.
It's a special treat.
It's a special treat where you get us both together at the same time, and we're gonna do a lot together. Together lives, and I know you have a lot of teaching coming up for the men and the women about those whom have had that void in the life because of fatherlessness. So
one special session in the Mega Life experience that's coming up in August that you all want to be a part of this, and
which
it's
one is that one?
On trust, talking about trust, right? How to build it, how to rebuild it,
awesome,
how to sustain it.
Awesome.
Got a very, very, I mean, it's a life changer, and
you're leading that one? Okay. All right. Sounds good. Awesome. All right. Take control of that wheel, baby.
Yes, sir.
What else you want to talk about on the Mega Life? So I know you got trust. You're going to talk about your health.
Talk about trust. I'm going to have a very powerful session about vulnerability.
Yes.
Yeah. I have a very powerful session about, especially for men. That's going to be life transforming. I mean, you want to save years of your life. You're going to want to be a part of that session, because it's going to save you heartache.
And
pain,
some women too, because we want some women in the session. Because some women aren't vulnerable.
Right.
I had to learn vulnerability.
Right.
I had to learn that if I let go, it's going to be okay.
Right.
Because I didn't trust.
Yep.
So vulnerability and trust goes hand in hand.
It goes both ways.
So that's your session is going to be married to each other.
It's married to each other. So it's for men and for women. It's open to both. There's something unique about it from a men's perspective.
I know.
That I can.
This is what.
But overall,
you know what? I really think that, and I'm praying, and God answer my prayer, please, because there's the Mega Life. So I'm really good with drawing males. Because I was just thinking about, but most of the times at the events, you'll see more women than men. We take a greater interest in developing and learning things. Men are kind of like, they're not even on Facebook, first of all. So we're going to have to do some strategic things to be able to get the men to come. Because at the Mega Life last year, it was some men. It was almost 50-50 because we did the crownings. Right. And stuff. So, all right. Also, we are part of the International MMBA pageant. And so for those of you who are married, single, young, seasoned, you can be a part of our pageant. If you brown, black, or biracial, and brown means Chinese, Asian, and that's probably the same thing, Puerto Rican, Indian, it's minority, basically. And come on over. Be a part of our pageant. We are having a national state crowning September 20th.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a Sunday where we're going to be crowning all those who are in our pageants, national ambassadors as well as state representatives. And so this is a perfect opportunity to be a part of the elite organization where we are leaders. We are making a difference because we are a pageant with a purpose. That's all right. So love you guys so much. Thank you for joining us. Until we speak again, God bless you. And may your life just be filled with abundance and joy. And may every single day of your life be mega. You have the opportunity to be able to make that great. And so we're excited to have you on here. Thank you so much for joining us and to being a part of what we're doing. And we celebrate you.
Yes.
You're good?
Yep.
All right. Bye-bye.